What is going on, everyone? It's Andy here, and today we are finally talking about double game weeks. A special day. The fixtures have been announced. We finally know who's going to play their double game weeks and when they're going to play them. It's fallen into two different weeks, so 34 and 37. Not all the fixtures have been arranged, so not everything in this video is confirmed, but we're pretty sure we now know when the fixtures are going to be played. So in this video, I'm going to take you through the fixtures, who's playing when, and then some quick thoughts about what that means going forward for chip use and stuff like that. It's not going to be a full strategy video. I'm not going to go into different strategies depending on what chips you got. I'm going to do streams over the international break for those on Wildcard. There's one on Thursday night at 9:30 PM UK. I don't know what time this is going to go out yet, so it might be before that, it might be afterwards. Either way, there'll be a stream to catch up on or watch on Thursday, and then there'll be more videos throughout the week discussing your questions, the key points and stuff for those on Wildcard, and just generally how to proceed for the rest of the season. So I'm just going to jump into it, like I say, go through the fixtures, who's got who and when, starting off with game week 34. So these are the fixtures that have been 100% confirmed. So originally we thought there was 10, I think there was 10 fixtures to reschedule. We thought that 6 may go into game week 34, basically everyone that blanked in game week 31, and then the rest would go in game week 37. So that would be the one to triple captain in because there was less fixtures, and game week 34 would be the one to bench boost in because there was more fixtures. Well, it turns out it hasn't quite worked like that. At least not yet. There may be more announcements, but we think any more announcements now will go into game week 37 because the Premier League have pretty much said they're just waiting for confirmation for match week or match day 37. So these should be the ones confirmed now for game week 34. So there's 4 rescheduled fixtures for this. So I'm just going to go through them quickly. I know it's not the prettiest thing to look at, but hopefully me talking you through it will help. So Bournemouth have got Liverpool away and Man United at home, so if you've still got Bournemouth players left over from game week 31, you might want to hold on to them, but it's not exactly the best double game week out of all the fixtures there, and obviously not the best team either. Brighton have got Palace away and Spurs at home. Again, it's okay, it's not great. Chelsea, Southampton away, Burnley away. I don't really like 2 away fixtures, but we're going to be getting Chelsea players in for sure. Leicester have got Burnley away and Southampton at home. And then Man United's West Brom at home, Bournemouth away. So that's a nice one, I think. Bottom of the league and a team that always concedes. Southampton, Chelsea at home, Leicester away. Spurs have got Man City at home, Brighton away. So Spurs is a team we'd probably want to get, load up on 3 players. But City at home, Brighton away, I don't think that's the greatest double game week, unfortunately. But we're definitely going to be looking at the likes of Son and maybe a defender as well. And then Burnley have got Leicester at home and Chelsea at home. So I think that's actually okay, the Burnley one. They're not bad at home. Maybe get a defender in. Even Ashley Barnes is in form at the moment for a very cheap striker. So just to explain the colour coding. So the green teams have basically all got a double game week in game week 34, and they'll have one in 37. So they're the teams you definitely want to look at because you can hold their players all the way through, especially those that have got good fixtures in between the double game weeks. And then they should be good at the end of the season. Now, of course, things like Europe, FA Cup semi-finals, just general rotation towards the end of the season, tiredness and stuff like that will come into it. So we can't guarantee that the players are going to play all the games. But take Romelu Lukaku, for example, at Man United. He now becomes a really good option because he's played 90 minutes every game he's been available under Mourinho. So Mourinho likes to do that with his star striker, just play them ragged basically for 90 minutes. He looked like he needed a break earlier in the season. He's playing better now, but not fantastic. But that's just an example of a player you might now want to look at. Good double game week fixtures, and then another double game week in 37. And then Burnley are highlighted in purple because they actually play in game week 35, which is key because that's going to be a blank game week. The rest of the teams here in game week 34 will all blank in 35. Bournemouth are white because they don't have another double game week, and they don't play in game week 35, so they're really not a good team to load up on, especially if you can't get rid of their players later on. So if you've not got a free hit, you're definitely going to look at Burnley players. I'm not saying you necessarily want to triple because you're going to have to be looking at your squad overall anyway to manage the rest of the season. But Burnley definitely worth considering for game week 35. Those of us with free hits who want to play it in 35, you don't need to worry. You're literally wildcarding just for the double game weeks. And then you'll use your free hit chip in 35. So the one key thing, to say here as well is we fully expected Arsenal to get a double game week here. So suddenly there's a bit of a rethink about players like Aubameyang. Now, we'll probably come on to him in other videos because he does have good fixtures. He does play in game week 35 and he'll play in game week 37. He should have a double game week. But now he's not necessarily such a good option for game week 34. So we'll discuss him. It's just something to think about because everyone was talking about him previously. And then we've got double game week 37. I've got a question mark there because it's not been fully announced, but we know what fixtures are left to reschedule, and we're pretty confident they're going to be in game week 37. So these are the teams again that are going to play. There's more fixtures in this game week. So the green ones here are again just because they've also got double game weeks in 34. So Brighton have got Man United at home, Man City away. Chelsea is Liverpool at home, Huddersfield at home. So that's quite a nice one. I know Liverpool there, but it's a nice home fixture. And then they've got Huddersfield at home, so that's decent too. Leicester is West Ham at home, Arsenal at home, Man United, Brighton away, and West Ham away. So Man United have got two double game weeks of Brighton, West Ham, West Brom, Bournemouth. That's pretty good. I'm going to be looking at tripling up. I know our attack's not been great, but I may even get 2 defenders in for those fixtures. So Man United looking good. I think they're probably looking the best. Followed by Spurs. So they've got West Brom away and Newcastle at home. So this is the one I'm looking for triple captain Kane. Obviously, he's not back right now. So for those on wildcard, it's a bit of a tricky situation if he comes back before 34 because we won't have our wildcard to get him back in. We'll have to use transfers. But if he's back for game week 37, he's chasing a golden boot, then West Brom away and Newcastle at home, it doesn't get much better. So I'm looking at triple captain in that week at the moment, but that could obviously change. And then the one I missed was Southampton. I got Everton away and Swansea away. So it's okay, but all those teams have got 2 double game week fixtures, so you definitely want to be looking at their players. And then there's 6 more fixtures to go through. Like I said, a lot of talking, a lot of text on the screen, but I just want to get the info out there. So these teams basically only have 1 double game week. It's going to be in 37. The teams not highlighted play in game week 35. Huddersfield in red, not only do they only have this double game week, and it's against Man City and Chelsea away, but they also don't play in game week 35, so they've got a blank followed by a double game week a couple of weeks later. So you're probably not going to be looking at Huddersfield players, even if you save your bench boost till then. And then, yeah, just to quickly run through. So Arsenal got Burnley at home and Leicester away. So like I was saying, Aubameyang looks good for that. Man City, Huddersfield at home and Brighton at home is amazing. The only problem is, will they be rotating at that point? Who do you want to get from that team? I mean, you want to get 3 players, of course, if you know they're not going to get rotated. A lot will depend on Europe. If they've got a Champions League final to play, who knows? They could be through to that. Then rotation would look rife. So you wouldn't expect most of their players to play 2 games. So it'll get a bit tricky. That's the kind of thing we'll have to talk about more as we get towards game week 37. But it looks amazing. Huddersfield at home, Brighton at home. And then Newcastle have got Watford away and Spurs away. Not great. Swansea, Bournemouth away. Southampton at home. I think Bournemouth usually away or home is a pretty good fixture for goals. I don't usually expect them to keep a clean sheet. Sure, they might not concede 3 or 4 or 5, but they usually let in 1 or 2. And then obviously Swansea then got the home game. They could still be fighting relegation. Jordan Ayew, someone like that. Alfie Mawson at the back. They could be ones to look at. And then lastly, West Ham versus Leicester away. And Man United at home to top it off. So like I said, I know there's been a lot of talk there. Hopefully that kind of helps you get in your mind basically who's got 2 double game weeks, who's only got 1, and obviously to consider the blank game week where Huddersfield don't play in that and they've got a double game week. Burnley have a double game week and then they don't blank as well. So they're ones to look at. And obviously the key other thing is to whether you keep Liverpool players. So we'll discuss that more in future videos. I think because of the way the fixtures have fallen, because there's less in game week 34, there's probably more reason to keep more of your Liverpool players than there was if all the fixtures, or at least more of the fixtures, have been in game week 34. So we'll just move on to the last part, which is basically what else. So because a lot of us, myself included, wildcarded before we knew this was going to happen. We thought there was going to be more fixtures in game week 34. It's one of the reasons we wildcarded, as well as getting rid of all the dross from game week 31. A lot of people now saying it was a mistake, you should have waited. So I think it's too early to say if it was a mistake. I think a lot of our teams weren't in good shape following game week 31. But I do think it was a mistake to hit the button early. Price rises aren't really that... there's not really that many on international breaks anymore. You know, a few players have gone up, Aubameyang, Lukaku. We might not even want Aubameyang now. So I think it was a mistake to hit the wild card that early. I think we should have waited to get the full amount of info. I mean, what if there had been less fixtures? There could have been a spanner in the works. They could have got put in a different game week. Obviously, that's not happened, but it could have happened. So I think the mistake was not waiting. But I don't think necessarily it was a mistake to play the wild card. A lot of teams were in bad conditions following the last blank game week. When to use your free hit, that really depends on what strategy you want to use. Some people are talking about using the free hit in game week 34 to get a double game week team out. And then they manage their team throughout game week 35. Wildcard in game week 36 to then take advantage of the bigger double game week in 37. So maybe use a bench boost. Now, A lot of this is going to depend on what chips you've got, because obviously if you free hit in 34, you can't triple captain or bench boost as well. So some people have used their triple captain in previous game weeks, like when Kane had his double game week earlier in the season. I've still got all mine, so I'm a bit more loath to do that. My strategy will probably be, it's wildcard now, bench boost in 34, free hit in 35, because I think that's going to be quite brutal for those that don't have it. And then triple captain in 37. Hopefully on Kane. If not, I'll pick someone else. Maybe Lukaku, Sanchez, I don't know. Maybe Mahrez is looking pretty good. Someone like that. If you've got no free hit, I'll be honest, it's looking quite tough, I think, to get through this with the maximum amount of double game week players. You're going to basically have to balance your squad between having maybe 6, 7, 8 really good double game week players, but also having players there that are definitely going to play. So Arsenal players, for someone without a free hit, look really good because they have got a double game week at the end of the season. They don't blank, and they've got really nice fixtures. I think their next two are like Stoke at home and Southampton at home. So someone like Aubameyang, we know Europe, looks really good. And then bench boost versus triple captain, I've kind of already touched on this a few times in the video. It depends. If you triple captain in game week 34, I don't look at it right now and feel like there's a standout option. Lukaku maybe. You could just go for someone else like Mahrez, Hazard, someone like that. But I feel like we're waiting for that Newcastle away, West Brom at home, or it could be, I think it's West Brom at home, Newcastle. I don't know. Whichever way, Kane plays those two in game week 37. That's what I'm looking at. So I might still bench boost in 34, even if it's not as desirable. I think these chips, a bench boost and triple captain is probably worth at maximum 20 to 30 points. So, you'd have to really nail it to get that anyway. So I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket, so to speak, and hoping I get the full amount of points there. I'm just going to have to use them when I can. And the free hit in game week 35, I said at the start of the season that chip was going to be for blank game weeks. It really looks like it's going to be super valuable now to manage throughout the rest of the season, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave that video there. Hopefully that was in some way useful. I'm going to do more possibly in-depth videos or look at your key questions. Should I keep Firmino? Should I not? What about Aubameyang now? I'll do those in separate videos and I'll talk about them on stream. But yeah, I'll leave it there. If you enjoyed this video, if you're happy that double gaming's are out, give this video a like, leave a comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Obviously, if you subscribe, that let you know when more videos are coming out, when my streams are going live, etc., etc. Otherwise, I'll leave it there. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you later all. Happy double game weeks.